The moment the presentation screen went black right in the middle of the live demo for Summit Ventures, I felt the air leave the room like someone had pulled a plug on reality itself. Derek Vance, our new CEO, spun around in his ergonomic chair so fast his tie whipped like a flag in a storm. His face, usually polished for investor pitches with that perfect California tan and megawatt smile, drained of color. "This is just legacy architecture acting up," he barked into the microphone, forcing a laugh that echoed hollowly off the glass walls of our downtown San Francisco office. But I knew better. Sarah Klein here, Senior Operations Manager at ForgeLink Innovations. I'd seen glitches before: coffee spills, power surges, the usual chaos of scaling a fintech platform. This wasn't random. This was deliberate, precise, the kind of silence that screams calculation. The investors from Summit Ventures leaned back in their leather seats, exchanging glances under the dramatic floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the bay. Their lead partner, a sharp woman named Elena Reyes with glacier blue eyes, tapped her pen slowly. No one said it out loud, but the weight settled heavy. This multi-million-dollar acquisition discussion just hit a wall. Derek kept talking, waving his laser pointer at blank slides about our disruptive payment infrastructure and vertical synergy opportunities. His team, mostly transplants from his last failed startup, nodded vigorously, but the room felt colder. I sat in the back row, notepad in hand, pretending to jot notes while my stomach twisted. Because I recognized that particular kind of outage. It wasn't the mainframe. It was Liam Hayes. Most people at ForgeLink called him the back-end whisperer, like he was some invisible utility guy who fixed printers and kept the servers humming. Liam was the one you forgot about until payroll cleared on time during the 2020 liquidity scare, when banks ghosted us and vendors threatened to cut lines. I'd watched him de-escalate crises with quiet midnight calls, never raising his voice. Emails shorter than 5 words. No one in the C-suite could explain why our vendor rates stayed below market or how we kept access to expired infrastructure. They credited Derek's growth-hacking slides. But I knew the truth. Liam was the duct tape holding the blueprint together, while Derek drew over it with flashy Sharpies. When our founder, an old-school engineer named Richard Harlan who believed in handshakes and ironclad contracts, stepped down last year, I noticed Liam change. Not dramatically, he never did drama. His posture just went stiller, like a man watching cracks form in a dam he'd reinforced years earlier. Derek arrived with his loud laugh, designer suits, and buzzwords: disruption, acquisitions synergy, AI-driven scalability. He didn't consult Liam about vendor lineages, licensing mazes, or the patchwork IP permissions keeping us legal across states. Instead, Derek made himself visible: town halls, TED-style keynotes, importing his old crew. Liam's quiet presence made their spotlight easier. They reassigned him to internal continuity, executive code for keep the lights on while we chase the sale. I got promoted during the shuffle to oversee ops, giving me a front-row view of the unraveling. Derek's imports rewrote compliance without checking actual regs. Flags started popping on invoices. Licensing keys expired in systems only Liam understood. I mentioned it once in a one-on-one. Derek waved it off. New systems incoming. Out with the old guard. His words lingered. Liam had once messaged me late during a brutal audit prep. Old systems don't die. They wait. Back then, I thought it philosophical. Now, staring at the dead screen, it felt prophetic. The town hall announcement came a week later in our catered atrium: shrimp cocktails, sliders, Derek on the mic, like a showman. Summit Ventures was in talks for an $85 million acquisition. Gasps rippled. Slack exploded with emojis and title speculations. Derek's inner circle strutted like they'd already cashed out. I watched Liam in the back, sipping coffee, Expression unchanged. No flinch. Just calculation. As director of ops, I joined due diligence. Every system I described traced back to Liam's work, duct-taped, rebuilt, restructured. Yet his name vanished from reports. Legacy clutter, Derek's assistant called it. That night, I stayed late reviewing old vendor codes. Passing Liam's desk around 9:40 p.m. His screen glowed with an encrypted shell from crisis days. He navigated effortlessly, no notes. Pure memory. A file name caught me. Haven Forge Trust Index. Revision 3. I froze. Whispers from 2020 funding crunch. Liam restructured assets quietly into a holding entity to preserve flow. Founder signed off. If Liam wrote it, trust it. I asked what it was still doing active. He replied evenly. Redundancy. In case the wrong people forget who's right. Then back to typing, like it meant nothing. But something shifted in him, detached. Watching from outside. Temperature rising. Voicemails from legal started trickling in. Not to me first, but forwarded transcripts hit my inbox with urgent subjects. One read simply, Hi Liam. Reviewing Q3 2020 vendor logs. Need clarification on delegation pathways. He didn't pause typing when I asked next morning. They're looking at outdated versions. Calm. Like warning of smoke while claiming the stove was off. Meanwhile, Derek played ringmaster for Summit's legal team. Boasting operational transparency, he claimed to invent. We own everything outright, he repeated in calls. But flags multiplied. Mismatches between old contracts and asset ledgers. Tracing IP renewals hit encrypted proxies routed through Haven Forge Trust. I dug into permissions registry. Liam still held root access for 80% of backend. Credentials we told Summit were centralized under corporate. Confronting Derek got a scoff. Old guard. Migrate post-deal. But you can't migrate what you don't own. 3 days later, Liam filed HR for reduced hours ahead of transition. Derek approved instantly. Finally, they saw retirement. I saw a line drawn. One late night, I returned for a charger and spotted Liam in the locked server room. Sleeves rolled. Keystrokes surgical. He wasn't deleting, reconfiguring backups. Stripping automated mirrors tied to corporate shells. Rerouting to new encrypted versions under original Haven Forge certificates. Timestamps matched crisis-era cold storage. He noticed me, gave the calmest nod. Inevitable. Not smug. Finalizing what should have stayed final. It took hours and stale coffee to uncover the registry truth. 5 years ago, amid worst cash crunch, Liam hadn't just patched vendors. He'd legally reassigned core contracts, IP chains, master admin keys to Haven Forge Trust. Signatures board approved quietly. Founder endorsed. Valid. Buried. The pause hit Thursday like a scalpel. Summit's update, temporarily suspending pending ownership clarification. Derek read it aloud in the glass conference room, laughing nervously. No one joined. Panic replaced hype, phones silent, Slack dead, printers humming again. Derek stormed legal, blaming everyone. How did a third-party name appear on infrastructure? Our unflappable GC flipped pages with trembling hands. Wasn't this consolidated? Get Liam, Derek ordered. But Liam didn't rush. His reply, 2 lines, refer to original reassignment plan. Clause 7D. Haven Forge holds operational rights. No attachments. Derek lost it, screaming insubordination. Intellectual hostage. Ordered access cut. IT had blinked. We can't. Sir. He's master custodian via the trust. We don't control those keys legally or technically. Silence crushed the room. New kind of loud. Derek reddened. Paled. Pretended planning. Legal fired cooperative emails. Summit scheduled clarification call, requesting Liam directly, not Derek. The Zoom felt sterile. White walls, cold light. Derek aged overnight, flanked by 4 smiles. I muted in the grid. Air thinning. Liam joined quietly. Faded sweater. Unbranded wall. No title fanfare. Summit wasted no time. Verify ownership. Licensing. Authority. Derek leaned in. All registered to Forge link. Documents ready. Summit cut. Hear from Mr. Hayes directly. Liam held up one sheet to camera. All rights reserved by Haven Forge Trust. Primary signatory, Liam Hayes. Silence. Derek cleared throat. Old temporary structure. Summit. Still active? Liam. Legally binding. Indefinite. Resigned 14 months ago by me. Managing custodian. Derek paled. Summit. We will not proceed until current operational owner signs off. Not CEO. Owner. The shift landed. Call ended prematurely. Derek spun transitional flexibility. Summit didn't buy. They wanted the script holder. After. Derek paced halls like trapped prey. How the hell? He still didn't see. Liam didn't hijack. They forgot who built it. Confrontation next morning behind HR doors, loud enough for exec wing. Derek cornered Liam. You're an employee. This trust stunt is termination grounds. Liam folded hands calmly. Not regarding Haven Forge. I haven't been your employee since notice last week. Words dropped like safes. Derek stammered breach. Fiduciary. Loyalty. But board realized Liam owed nothing anymore. No compliance. No silence. No access. Without Haven Forge. No Summit deal. Infrastructure. Vendors. IP. All tied there. Emergency board meeting. No slides. Raw facts. Derek puffed negotiation leverage. No bites. Liam invited as third-party principal. Thin folder in hand. He laid revised agreement. Stonewall wait. Haven Forge will license directly to Summit. Renewable lease. Annual audits. Non-negotiable. Derek nearly overturned table. Board read carefully. Nodded one by one, survival over ego. Liam didn't gloat. Just sat still as Empire realigned. Revised offer hit. $59 million. Down sharply. No Haven Forge signature. No full value. Gap surgical. Summit bought clarity. Not chaos. Derek skipped that meeting, board's polite step back. Founder Richard joined by phone from main retirement. Reviewed filings. Haven Forge necessary. Approved. I put Liam's name there. GC protested disclosure. Founder cut sharp. You trusted him with keys. He didn't betray. You never asked what they opened. No argument. No scandal, just quiet lifeboat from desperation now floating above Derek's wreckage. Give Liam what he needs or take $60 million hit. From then, Liam centered everything. Legal addressed him first. Ops routed through his specs. Contract team studied his clauses like gospel. Summit called him directly. He didn't change, same hoodie, same ThinkPad. Gravity shifted subtly. Building bending around him. I passed him post-session. Overwhelmed? No. Been here before. Now they see it. Every license. Dependency led back. He never fought control, never surrendered it. Papers arrived Monday clean. Precise renewable lease. 1-year term auto-renew on performance. Full control retained by Haven Forge. Liam signed with fountain pen. Black ink smooth. Board exhaled quietly. $59 million secured. Without him. Lawsuits and lock systems. Derek's team gone within week. Realignment. Keycards deactivated. Slack stark. No mentions. Summit offered Liam permanent role, strategic director of continuity. Team. Perks. Redemption. He declined politely. Appreciate.
Decline.
Attached recommended placements. 6 vetted names. Trusted people, including forgotten interns. Then logged out. Disconnected VPN. Packed notebooks. Left without fanfare. Soft door click. Founder emailed privately. Impressive restraint. Liam. Thanks for backing structure. No glory. Just satisfaction. The ignored thing stood when needed. Now leased at his discretion.